Hey, hey Zach, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. So I was actually I was wondering, so the new law that's coming in for text blasting, so how many messages could I send per day without having to register under the carriers? Is it possible that I could only send, because right now I'm sending like 5,000 texts per day, but I know that I'm not gonna be able to do that anymore. So is it possible that I could send like maybe 500
What service are you using for texting?
batch?
Okay, so uh, the Trace Act is it's pretty loose how they're doing it. So, in my opinion, for the first 6 to 12 months, they're going to only go after the act is really for those robocall guys, like call for your warranty auto.
Yeah.
I got two today like that.
Yeah,
So
me
they're going to go
too.
after them first. It's they're not going after you. You're not like the
Okay.
reason why they're going after you. So most likely, I think you're going to be safe for a couple months, in my opinion. And then it's probably going to ease up a little more until Batch is going to play it very safe because they don't want you get in trouble. So
Yeah.
I think it might be closer to 500 to 1,000. I'm thinking.
Until
Um,
they get a little bit more tighter, right?
yeah, it might get a little more tighter. You can do a lot of creative stuff. You can open marketing LLCs. I know Anton Campbell was talking about that yesterday on my podcast. So it's a lot of interesting
Okay.
stuff you can do. We're probably going to pump up cold calling a lot more to compensate and buy more.
Yeah, because I am cold calling and text blasting at the same time. But like I prefer text blasting. Like I would mainly text blast everybody and then reach out to the people that like gave me a good response. And then after 2 months I would cold call the whole list
Yep.
while
That's
I'm
what we
text
do.
blasting a new list. Yeah, so like that's gonna kind of really mess me up because like now I'm kind of like scared a little bit to like send messages because I don't know like if I'm gonna get in trouble for it.
You won't get in
So
trouble. Now, obviously,
okay.
you're not doing anything illegal in the texting wise.
Yeah.
You study TCPA, Telephone Communication Protections Act of 1991. If you're compliant on there, you should be fine. Like cold calling wise, you're gonna be safe. Like you're not doing anything
Okay.
fraudulent. The only way you get in trouble with cold calling is if a robot's calling it or a robot's dropping in messages. So
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
steering clear from dropping in messages, and I'm also steering clear of having a robot call. Um,
Yeah.
we've tested that out before. So if you're physically calling someone, you're not even trying to sell someone. You're asking if someone wants to sell their house to you. You should be fine cold calling. SMS, we
Okay.
really got to see how it's going to play out. I think you should be fine for the next couple of months before we know. But they're implementing this act like piecemeal. So throughout the next couple of years. So it's not going to
Okay,
be like
okay.
what Thanos just snaps his fingers and everything changes. Like it's going to be very slow. So you'll have
Okay.
plenty of time to react.
All right. So with cold calling, I heard that because I was reading into the Trace Act. So are we supposed to like call less people at a time? Because I heard that if more people start to hang up on us, then our number is gonna get
Yes.
seen as spam. So now like basically I'm gonna have to spend more hours cold calling and reaching less people, right? Or not
Um,
really? Because I just want to know what to expect. Because as of right now, like I call like 5 people at a time, 6 people at a time, and then I recycle the list. So I want to know like should I, cold call for longer hours now? Because I cold call like 5 hours, and that's I usually get a good amount of people. But I'm feeling like now that I have to cold call only 3 people at a time, like should I stretch out and maybe cold call for like 6, 7 hours, or what do you think?
um, Triple line dialer is the most you should do. Anything above that, no, you'll get in
Okay.
trouble. Triple line dialer. Uh, if you're good at it, if you're cold calling 5 hours a day, I think eventually, I mean, you should have the skill set now where you will get it if you keep doing that. Because that's exactly what I did when I was 18. You'll get very
Yeah.
good on the phones, and you'll probably be
Yeah.
closing a lot more deals. So your call through will be fine because you're going to have a couple 5-10 minute conversations, which is going to help your average length of your calls. So you should
Yeah.
do well during that. It's when you're doing the 12 line dialing where it's like a 10-minute call on average is going to be a 1 minute. It's going to ruin it. So
Yeah.
you're going to have a lot of hangups. So 3 lines is probably what I would do. I would clean your list a lot better. Make sure you cut out like lines that are like really old or bad. But you just want to focus on call length. Um, That's probably what I'd be doing. And then the answered calls, you should be fine. But use a triple line dialer. You should get through it. I would get a lot quicker on them. So you wanted over 10 seconds. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
it's 20 seconds is the threshold. And so that's enough on average. If you do a bunch of 10-second ones and then you add in like a 5 or 10 minute one, you should be fine.
All right, perfect. So you're using, I know that you were using Zenko and now you switched over to a batch dialer.
Yeah, I ain't getting in trouble.
Okay. Because I'm in call tools right now,
Okay.
but I think I was gonna switch to Zen call, but then I heard that you didn't, you like completely switched from Zen call to batch. So why did you really switch over?
Okay, Zen calls a Canadian company, and I just don't trust it. They're more focused on international, so I went back to batch because I know that they will protect my butt. If I won't do anything crazy that's non-compliant with them, so that's why I went with them. Same price, and it's really a triple line dialer. And I just Zen calls user interface is so bad. Like go
Yeah,
into
I've
and
heard.
look at it.
It's like a big learning
Oh,
curve.
it's huge. So I'm gonna have to add more cold callers versus SMS people. So I want to cut the learning curve. So through with my people. So that's kind of went with them. I use my skip tracing. I always get it. I get pretty good results, and it's just easier to kind of have them all in one. So that's really it. It's mostly because we're in a bigger company, so I don't want to risk a crazy lawsuit. So I'm using one that's going to keep me more protected. You can use whatever one you want, but don't go over a triple line dialer. That's probably what I would say.
Okay. And for all your lists, do you also skip trace it? I mean, like, do you also run it by the DNC?
Yes, Batch does that for us. But yeah,
Because I also use Batch. So if I skip trace with Batch, I don't have to go and search for like a third party, like for the litigators and stuff like that.
no, they'll clear them out for you.
Okay, all right.